All right. Hello, everybody. Hey, how you doing, buddy? Hi. Yep, we're just waiting for everybody to come in, so I thought I'd get started a couple of minutes early. Hello, everybody. Hello. Can you hear me okay? Hey, Stella. Hey, Rich. Nice to see you guys. Thank you so much for showing up. In Melbourne, hey, greetings to Australia. Hello, everybody. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for coming tonight. Thank you so much for taking time out of your evening or late evening or earlier afternoon, depending on where you are. Hey, Dan. How you doing, Dan?
What's up, Professor Stine?
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Hey,
Cool.
everybody. Hey, Lisa.
Did anybody show up to this thing? Cool.
Hey, Don. Hey, John.
364 people and counting.
Germany. All right. Hey. Nice to hear from you.
Hey, where do you see that?
I'm seeing that on the chat.
Oh, Sergey, Fred, Tom H, Bert, Chaz.
Hey, everybody.
Lou.
London, 3 a.m. Look at you. That's dedication.
That's so cool. Now, how do you see where they are?
Well, the people are putting it on there. Like there, we've got Chile. We've got. I see New Zealand just went by. London is right there. 1 a.m. Guys, you are so awesome. Michigan.
Carl said I got out of the hospital just for this. That makes me laugh. Hey guys from Michigan. Dan looks like he fell out of bed. Actually, I wish I had just fallen out of bed. I probably feel better than I do right now. Texas. Milwaukee.
Maryland.
Wood-
Texas, awesome. Chicago.
Nashville. That's my old stomping ground. Well, almost.
Yep.
I was from the hood of Nashville called Memphis. Let's see.
That's so awesome you guys are here.
Somebody's from Brazil. Okay, cool. Hey, let's do this while everybody's kind of filtering in still. We've got almost 400 people on. So I'm going to do a quick little poll and say, where are you? Guys, if you see that little thing pop up on the side, see if you can click it. Oh, yeah, there it goes.
Hey, Joe. Hey, Mark.
I was going to list all the countries, but I got tired and I just put somewhere else.
Awesome. Hawaii.
Wow.
I know so many of you I'd like to come and visit because I live in North Dakota.
Yeah,
it's so flat in North Dakota you can do this and you can see for 5 miles.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, we have nothing.
83% US, 7% Canada, UK is 3%, Australia is 3%. Dadgummit, what time is it in Australia? It's got to be a lot.
I think it was. I think he said 3 a.m. Or she said. I don't know. I'm not sure who was from there, but I think it was 3 a.m.
Wow. Cool. All right, dudes and gals. Oh, speaking of dudes. Okay, so let me load this one.
Hi, Mike.
How many people we have on here?
Hi, Ed. Hi, Randy. Hi, Dave. Hi, Arthur. Hi, John. Hey, Shane. Hey, Bruce. Hey, guys. John, it says bathroom. I'm not sure what that means, John.
So I'm wondering how many ladies we have on here.
Lisa's from the Netherlands. Is that right? It looks like. 9 p.m. in Brazil.
Cool. 3 a.m. in Saudi Arabia. Wow, that's amazing. All right, dude, we have a lot to cover here, man. I just want to welcome everybody and thank you so much for coming, and thank you for taking your time of your day to come out and hang out with Steve and I. Dude, let's get down to business. Basically, what we're going to do on this webinar is we're going to talk about writing riffs. We're going to talk about 4 ways that you can write your own riffs, and Steve's going to take you through basically these techniques. And there are actually, I think, 26 different styles or riffs that he's written for this upcoming masterclass, the Thunder Rock Licks masterclass. So we're going to talk about 4 of the 26 here today. And yeah, so I'm hoping to keep this to like an hour. And let's get started. Thanks for showing up on time. I'm in San Diego, so it's 5:05 here. Steve, it's like 7 o'clock where you are.
That is correct.
And so we'll try to wrap up in about 1 hour. So, Steve, you can take it away. Did you want them to get their guitars, or how did you want? Yeah. This is your show, man. So
yeah,
what do you?
Absolutely. If you have your guitar available, whether it's an acoustic guitar, an electric guitar, it doesn't need to be plugged in. But if you've got your guitar available, what I want to do is I want to show you some ideas of how you can create a guitar riff. That's really the premise behind Thunder Rock Riffs, is being able to take things that you've done a million times on the guitar and convert them into something that could become a song or whatever it is you want to do with it. You know, you probably, like me, you probably learn how to play all kinds of songs from other people, but we never really learn how to convert that into something that we can actually use on our own. I played for years learning other people's songs and had no freaking clue how to write my own stuff until I started kind of thinking about it, and that's what I want to show you. So I want you to grab your guitar if you have it available. Run upstairs and don't fall in the steps, and come on back with your guitar. Don't ding it up, and we're going to play. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to start off with our first style of riff, which is going to be an open chord riff. Okay? Now, if we think about it, if we do this, everybody starts off with open chords. So you've got a G and a D and a C. Now, if I just do this, it could become a riff, but it's kind of non-defined because there's so much crap going on. The trick to it is you take those open chords and you start giving them rhythm, and you start giving them space, like this. If I go... Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to take an G chord, a D chord, and an A chord, but instead of just strumming it the whole time, let's have some fun with this, with just playing some riffy stuff with space in between. So we're going to go like this. We're going to go G, and you could scratch in between if you want to, but you're going to go G, and right there what I'm going to do is I'm going to play G, D, A, and then I'm adding just this little single note tag that's going to go 0 to 2, and then we're going to strum that G chord again. Now the cool thing about this is once we've created a riff, that's not the end of the song. What we can do on top of that, and it's called layering, and that's something else that we're going to talk about in Thunder Rock Riffs as well. But layering is taking that idea and then creating something else over the top. So if you can hear this okay as I'm playing, Dan, can you hear my guitar okay?
Yeah, in fact, for me it's just a little bit loud, but I mean, this is me.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, Chris says it's AC/DC-ish, and it's going to be. I mean, that era of the 60s and the 70s really was taking these open chords and making riffs out of them. So like for me, a lot of the 80s bands that I grew up with, like Kix and The Cult and all those kind of things, those guys, this is exactly what they did. Now we're going to take this further as we keep going, but play this for me. Let's play together, okay? We're going to go G, D, A, and then that little walk up. So let's do this together. 1, 2, ready, and G, 2, 3, 4, D, A. Here's our walk. Now it's just a standard rock and roll lick. Now let's say Lisa, for instance, is trying to type over there, and she's trying to type and play guitar at the same time, which I'm sure is very difficult. So take Lisa, for instance. Lisa, if I was playing that guitar riff, what you would do then is you'd look over here and you'd start thinking, okay, well, what could I do to layer over the top? Could I add something cool over the top? Okay, so I'm going to play that riff, but what I want you to do is let's just take an idea. Okay, let's say we were going to go up to the note. Yeah, that should work. We'll go up here. I want you to go to the 7th fret of the 3rd string and put your first finger on there. And I want you to go to the 10th fret of the 1st string, which are octaves, and deaden out that middle note. Stone and Love, you got it. You guys are totally onto this, right? So what we're going to do is I want you to play this. I want you to play 7th fret of the 3rd string and 10th fret of the 1st string, which are octaves. And I want you to do something kind of funky. I want you to go like this. And basically what you're doing is you're just pressing down and then letting off, and pressing down and letting off. And then this hand just keeps going with the rhythm. So you're pressing down and then letting off. And you can make any old kind of rhythm that you want, okay? Now, you're going to try and do this, and I'm going to come back down and I'm going to do this. G, G, D, D, A, A, A. And you see, that's how we start building an effective guitar riff. And there's a million other ways to do it, but that's a really easy way to start with just open chords that you know how to play. But instead of just strumming them like this, which again, there's nothing wrong with that. But sometimes it's just not very defining, right? If I do this, if I play, if anybody knows David Bowie, if I do this. You see, it's the rhythm that you're doing in context of those chords that makes it into a cool, stinking guitar riff. That's what you want to do.
Hey, dude, let me ask you this. That's really cool. What do we even mean when we say riff? Like, what makes something a riff versus it not being a riff?
Okay. For me, what riff really means is that you define it by the guitar part. And a riff doesn't have to be a guitar part. Like the beginning of Rock and Roll All Night, that drum pattern would be a riff. It defines the song, right? So if I do this, if I go... Anybody know what that is?
Let's see if they blow up the chat.
It takes about 30 seconds for them to for it to respond through back to us. But anybody know that riff? I'm going to play it again.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about the delay.
Anybody?
Well, I know, but I don't want to say.
There they come. I can see them, yep. So you're right. It's Cat Scratch Fever. It's Ted Nugent.
Yeah.
That's right, Uncle Ted. You got it. So, you see,
shoot him up, Mr. Ted.
Yeah, exactly. So what I did was I took a lot of the more popular songs, and I kind of created.
Oh, look at that, dude.
Can you see me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, it's delaying on my side, so it's like, whoa.
No, I'm seeing Cat Scratch Fever just go.
Yep.
Down to the chat.
Yep, Cat Scratch, you got it. So let's say I did this, okay? Let's see if you know this one, okay? Another open chord riff. Are you ready? Everybody's going to know this one. Right? There is something hugely powerful about open chord guitar riffs, man. It's what makes the 70s, and it's just, for me, it's the staple of core rock and roll is using those open chords like that.
Yeah, and a classic example would be AC/DC. If you learn 3 songs, you just learned a bunch of open chord riffs.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And that's the kind of stuff, like you probably grew up playing too, Dan, but that's the kind of stuff that I love. So it's easy to forget about those because we think of open chords and stuff as being so simple, but it's not always about how complex the song is. It's the riff that you come up with that defines the power of that song, whether you're making something mellow, because in Thunder Rock riffs there are a little bit more mellowish things as well, but most of it is built on the power aspect of being able to do some stuff that's real defining in the rock and roll world.
Give me another. I think people like playing this game of name that tune. So we're by the way, guys, we're on one of 26 ways to write riffs, and Steve's talking about the open chord riffs. Give us another example of something people might recognize of the open chords.
Okay. And then it kicks in. That was a little more obscure. You have to be a real AC/DC fan to know what that one is.
That's old school, dude. All right, Ted the Sledge. All right, so let's they have this delay, right? Because it's not real time.
Yep.
Give us another one, and then as you start going, they'll start being able to we'll see the answers going in.
Okay. All right. So let's do Here we go. Right?
Nice. Yeah, I mean, you can't get away from AC/DC when you play the open chords.
Yeah.
Yeah. Larry says "Whole Lot of Love." Yeah, same idea.
Yep, absolutely.
Are you requesting? Oh, Hell's Bells. Yeah, exactly. So, "Whole Lot of Love," is that an open chord riff?
Well, "Whole Lot of Love" is actually part 2 of what we were going to talk about, which
perfect segue.
Yep.
Perfect segue.
Chords. Now, we move from open chords, and we know that open chords become what we call open power chords, where we stop playing the whole chord and we just play a part of it. Well, that open power chord, which we talk about in Thunder Rock riffs too, but that power chord or that open chord becomes then a power chord. So when you're thinking of "Whole Lot of Love" and you've got now, this kind of leads into the next segment as well, but let's just look at that for a second. What that song, "Whole Lot of Love," has is a little single note riff, a power chord, and then the almighty palm mute. The palm muting for me just defines what I love about guitar playing. It's just that. Right? So when you've got all that kind of stuff, and that's what Whole Lotta Love is a power chord. And for those of you that don't know A Whole Lotta Love, I'm just playing 7 on the 6th string to 5 on the 5th string, and then doing it again. And then I'm playing the 7th fret of the 5th string, power chord, and then I'm chunking away on that 6th string. So you have right? So that's a power chord riff. Power chord riffs for me, like, I mean, let's take a look here. We're going to dive a little bit deeper. Let's say I was doing this. See if anybody knows this one. Here's the power chord riff. And again, we're going to break apart all kinds of different power chord riffs and then put them back together. And we're going to add single notes. We're going to add harmonies, different things like that. But let's just take a look at this one. See if anybody knows this. Anybody know that one? Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, Black Sabbath. They're just easy power chords. We talk about punk stuff, you know, like Ramones. You have I see Joan Jett, I Love Rock and Roll.
So that would really fall more into the open chord.
Well, it's both, right?
It's all of it. It's all of it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing is once you start learning how they work together, all 4 of these categories actually start. I mean, you can keep them separate, but they can certainly meld into one giant bowl of, you know, guitar stew, if you will, where you're just using all kinds of crap together.
This is the interesting part for me, Steve. You've broke the like, how do I say this? It's awesome that you can play and teach, because I can tell you not everybody can. Some people can teach but not necessarily play. Some people can play but not necessarily teach. In fact, a whole lot of people can play but not really teach what the heck they're talking about or what they're playing. The cool thing that what you're doing in this Thunder Rock Riffs class is you're taking, for example, that, what was it, Joan Jett?
Well, the last one was,
Yeah. And it's open chords, it's power chords, it's using scales, it's using little like scalular riffs type thing, and then she's putting it all together, right?
You bet.
And the cool part is what you're doing is, you know, you're taking each little segment and pulling them apart so you can study each thing on its own, which is awesome. So you can get your head wrapped around that, and then you can put it all together. The thing that happened for me for years is it just seemed like a bunch of random notes. It seemed like this huge song that was going to take me forever to learn, or try to write my own song, forget about that. But the cool thing you're able to do is you can chunk it down to like these little granular levels that's easy to understand.
Yeah, well, and I appreciate that. I mean, needless to say, that's kind of the whole thing. I started off as a guitar player who played, you know, I mean, there was a time when I was playing 6, 8, 10 hours a day, but I've taught for the last almost 30 years of my life, not because I have to, but because I really love teaching. There's something about the way I see music and the way I talk about music that seems to make sense to people. And so for me, it's just a blessing that I get to do that, because I like to talk about this kind of stuff. Like I just saw, I mean, if you could see what I see in my head, which is really the point of why I do this in the first place with GuitarZoom, is, you know, like I saw somebody write Scorpions, right? Then somebody wrote Iron Maiden. So we have no, sorry, I'm playing Paranoid way too fast. There it is, Trooper. You'll notice that they use the same shapes. The Trooper and Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, and Holy Diver, and Rock You Like a Hurricane, and all those songs use the same movement. And when I was younger, I didn't understand what it was. I didn't understand the key. I didn't understand modes. I didn't understand chords, all those kind of things. I saw shapes, like for you. Well, here's what I want you to remember about metal, the 80s style metal, Judas Priest, all that kind of stuff. Remember whole steps, 3, 5, 7, or 1, 3, 5, or whatever it might be. Okay, not everything fits in there, but you'd be surprised at how much fits into just that idea. Okay, now let me show you another really awesome shortcut. If I was to take those whole step movements and span it out one more fret, then I get yeah, exactly. There's a ton of Nirvana songs that use that, and it kind of defined the grunge sound. Was that they didn't want the whole steps because it was too metal, and they didn't just want. I mean, not that he wouldn't use. He'd use. There's an open chord song again, the open power chords I was talking about. So all of these songs are defined fairly easily by what you're seeing on the fretboard, and that's really, really important. Somebody else, which is the third category, by the way, somebody had mentioned Motorhead. So the third category for me is chord fragments. So sometimes you don't just want to play an open chord or a power chord. You want to play something a little more unique. Somebody mentioned Van Halen. This is totally... all that kind of stuff. If I was playing Motorhead, I was doing Ace of Spades, I'd have... Then it goes to A, then it goes back. So what I'm doing right there, everybody, is I'm just playing a power chord on the 7th fret of the 5th string, just like I was with Whole Lotta Love. But what happens is you're taking the 7th fret of the 9th fret of the 4th string, that note right there, and you're going to go to 8, and then you're going to go to 7. So you're going 7 on the 5th string the entire time. You're going from 9 to 8 to 7. And I know Dan is a Megadeth fan, so if I was doing Symphony of Destruction, if I went... there it is. See, bands like Megadeth and Metallica and those guys, they love these... I know.
What is that, Orion?
Yeah, Orion, yeah.
Dude, that's so old. That song,
look at this.
That was an instrumental.
Watch this. Yeah.
Okay, if you're going to do that, you might as well just... Okay, you already set me up, dude. Now you got to go... Play it! I'm telling you, play. I want to hear it. What song is that?
Battery.
Oh, no, I was talking about the one that was on Master of Puppets, but it goes, man, where's my freaking guitar?
You're thinking of Damage Incorporated.
No, I'm thinking of, is it Battery? No, it's not. Oh my gosh, help me out here.
Oh, you're not thinking of...
Yes!
Okay, well that leads us into the fourth category, which is no picking. So, yeah, watch this. Okay, so here's.
All right, go.
Okay, so here he goes.
Yeah. Dude, I played that when I was like 13. I thought I was the best guitarist in the world.
Listen, I grew up with all that. Some Green Day. Oh, Green Day. I used to play Green Day all the time. I just haven't played them lately.
Here's what I think about Green Day.
Yeah, I mean, again, what is that? That's a power chord riff.
Oh, dude, the little harmonic thing you were just doing there reminded me of Hangar 18 at the very, very end. No, but past all that.
Oh, no, I know. I don't remember what the end is, but... Holy Wars, it goes, the end
that's what it was, Holy Wars.
Yeah.
Yes! Dude, this is too much fun. You're taking me back to when I was like 16 years old in the garage days.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, dude. Okay, we totally got off track here. What were you even talking about?
My point to everybody is the songs aren't... I'm not saying that learning songs, I mean, most of you probably know my theory on learning songs. I mean, there's two different categories of songs you learn. You learn basic songs, which I call ego songs, which are songs that aren't hard for you to play in the bigger scheme of things, and they make you feel good, and you need songs like that. If you're one of those people that's always trying to learn songs that are really, really hard, you spend your whole life frustrated, and you don't want to do that. The other kind of songs that you learn how to play are called project songs, and project songs are songs that you need to spend more time with. You may not successfully learn the whole song. You might just learn a few measures of it or something like that. But project songs can propel you because you're doing something new, you know, like learning how to go... It takes time to learn how to do that. You got to develop. Now, like with Thunder Rock riffs, I talk about picking techniques, like learning how to pick. You know, we don't go into great detail of technique because it really isn't about that. It's about you learning how to create riffs by using either open chords, power chords, chord fragments, or single note lines, and then learning how to mesh them. We talk about bands like Judas Priest or Thin Lizzy, which is another big one for me, Iron Maiden. You know, there's just a host of them. They use a lot of twin guitar stuff where you're harmonizing. And so we want to learn how to do stuff like that. You know, I can't do that with one guitar, obviously, but those are the kind of things that we talk about. So I know there's a couple of tracks on Thunder Rock Riffs where I write the rhythm track and then you play it, and then we just keep layering pieces on top. So we'll add a melody line, we'll add a harmony line, we'll add a third harmony line. You know, this is a really stupid story, but I'm going to tell you this because I don't tell it to very many people.
We're only telling it to like 400 other people right now.
When I first met him, his name is Steve Grimmett, and he's the singer for Grim Reaper, and he and I are best friends. He was the best man at my wedding. I was the best man at his wedding. And he and I, he lives over in England. I live here in America. We fly back and forth and see each other all the time. But when he and I first got together and started hanging out and went, you know what, we should write some stuff together. What I understood about writing was that I had to be as cool as humanly possible, so when I would write a song, it would have 478 guitar parts on it. So I would write these songs that were just chock full of all these things, and I would send them to him, and he'd call me and go, hey, you know, that's really cool, but where am I supposed to sing?
Yeah, exactly.
That's when I started learning about riffs. I mean, not that I didn't know about them, but I started learning that the point wasn't how much stuff you pack in there, it's what you do with the thing that you've got. You know. That's
so true.
And that's what Thunder Rock Riffs is all about, taking funk rock riffs and blues riffs. Like I use this one, a bluesy riff like this. So I'm going to show you this quick. I don't want to waste your time, but if you've got your guitar, and I know you're probably burning to try and play something, what I want you to do is play this. I want you to play 0 on the 6th string and then 3 and 4 on the 6th string. So you're going to go bum, ba-da. It's like a swing. Okay? And then you're going to go to the 2nd fret of the 4th string. Right there. Okay? You can feel that swing in there. Now, somebody had mentioned Boston earlier. Boston does a song that uses this too, but it doesn't use the swing. But it's the same riff. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to play 5, 4, 2 on the 5th string with 0 on the 6th string in between each one like this. So you have 2 riffs right there. And then, hey Scott, you got it. Yes, I'm so proud of you, man. That's right. It's Hey Baby. It's the riff. It's a riff style. Now his is a little bit different, but it's the same kind of thing. Oh, I love that song. I'm so glad you got that, man. And Bert says, where do I start as a beginner? You start at the beginning with those open chord riffs. That's where you start. Okay. The intention of Thunder Rock riffs was not to make them overly complicating or difficult. That isn't the point. You can take all of that information that's in there and you can make it as hard as you want to. The point is dissecting how a riff is created and what to do with it. You are welcome to rob as many guitar riffs out of Thunder Rock riffs as you choose and write your own material. Okay? It is perfectly fine. The point was to take, you know, I'm not going to say they're all popular songs, but you take song ideas and you invert them. And you twist them and you turn them and you do all kinds of different things with them. Because the truth is that G chord and this D chord and this A chord has been played 85 trillion times. Mm-hmm. Nobody owns those chords, right? You can't throw the lick at the end, but you could go. People have done it a million times.
And you know what's funny, dude? I've noticed just being a musician, listening when I'm watching like a football game or something, if they'll have like a little intro where they're showing like a replay of something, instead of actually having the real song and paying the licensing fee on it, mm-hmm. what they'll do is they'll have a brilliant musician like you change it just enough that the untrained ear goes, oh, I know that's a Green Day song. Yep. That's a Metallica song or whatever. Absolutely. But right. I'm sitting there going, oh, dude, that's so clever. It's so close, but it's actually not the song.
Absolutely. And that's the thing you have to understand, too. And I'm not going to go into preaching to you guys, but I want you to understand, like for me, when I was first learning how to play guitar, I was terrified of writing my own songs because I was scared that it belonged to somebody else. And then somebody, I don't remember who it was, came along and said, you know what? That's like being an artist and never studying art. You have to study art to understand what the great artists did to be able to paint or to be able to draw or whatever it might be. It's okay to look at those things. You're not taking the vocal melody, you're not taking the tempo, you're not taking the drum beat, you're not taking the bass line, you're not taking the guitar part. You're just learning how to riff. These power chords, like I just showed you, this 3, 5, 7 thing defines, I don't know, 70% of the metal that's out there from the 80s. And that thrash style of music, because without it, it's missing its stylistic characteristic. If you're trying to play thrash metal and you're going, it's not going to sound like thrash metal. It's going to sound like a really fast country song or that's what punk is. Punk is taking major chords like the Beach Boys or whoever would use normal chord progressions like that, but just playing them faster.
Yep.
So that's the kind of stuff that we want to learn about, everybody, is learning how to utilize those. Somebody mentioned David Gilmour. I mean, think about it. If I played, oh man. Oh, here it is. That's a pentatonic scale. It's just a pentatonic scale. So, but it's constructed in such that it creates a riff. There's nothing dynamic going on in there, and I'm not making fun of it. I am a huge Pink Floyd fan. I'm just saying it's more about creativity than it is always thinking that you got to play fast or you got to add a lot of stuff. It's not. It's like, watch this. Somebody had mentioned scales, and to be honest with you, when I write stuff, I'm not really concerned about what key or scale I'm in. I just try and make stuff up and see what I come up with. Sometimes if I'm in a mellow mood, I might be doing some sort of thing. But otherwise what I do is I try and think about, like, if I took this, I'm just going to take the note A on the 5th string. You guys can follow here. Okay, now I got to think of a tempo or a groove that I want to use. Now I got to add something. So I might start using 4 and 5 on the 4th string. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to try and make something up here. Now some other guitars in the background going, and maybe another guitar's going. So I'm thinking in layers, and that's what I talk about in rock riffs as well, but I think in layers. Instead of trying to make this one guitar part full of all these things, I just start trying to think, what's this thing that could breathe, like the Steve Grimmett story I told you. What could breathe, and then what could I put over the top of that to fill in some coolness, to start adding some other factors in there? How about riffs within a blues progression? Well, I mean, like if I was in the key of E, I could use the pentatonic scale. Maybe it starts off kind of quiet, right? Then it starts in. Now I got both going again. In my head, I'm layering. I've still got this kind of thing happening. So could you do it in blues? You could do it all kinds of different ways. And Fred mentions Dokken. Yes. As soon as you hear that, don't you think Dokken? But if you listen to Shoot to Thrill, it's in there too, by AC/DC.
Yeah. Actually, I thought that's what you were playing first.
Oh, man, I don't... Haven't played that since I was 17.
There you go. Hey, Steve, let me ask you this, dude.
Absolutely.
I actually forgot about a couple things. Steve and I, as you can tell, we prepare for these webinars for hours and hours on end. Actually, we got on here and I was like, hey, what are we talking about today?
We're going to talk about guitar playing.
Guitar riffs are cool. So, dude, I totally forgot to tell everybody, and I'm so glad that 400 and how many people are on here? 444 people are still on. I totally forgot to tell you this. If you just hang with us to the end of this webinar, we're going to give out a course for free, whether you decide to invest in the Thunder Rock Riffs Masterclass or not. So if you just hang with us, we're going to give out a special link at the end here, and you can go and just pop your email address in, and you'll get access to the membership site, and then you'll get this course and the special bonus. I'll have to find out actually, but it's an entire course. So the other thing is we're also doing a special webinar bonus tonight for anyone who decides to sign up for the masterclass, which is actually starting September 30th, but the registration the early bird registration ends tomorrow night. So there's another special webinar-only bonus, and I always get this question, which is, hey, if I already registered for the masterclass, will I get this special bonus? Of course, you'll get the special bonus, but it will not be extended through tonight. The other thing, Steve, I wanted to ask you, dude, is there's actually somebody, and I lost it because there were so many comments over here, but one person said, hey, this is fun, but it's not telling me what the class is about, which is cool. I actually have a little video that I'm going to play, and I'll go ahead and tell you now. I'm not trying to pull like any tricks. I pre-recorded this because if I didn't, I would screw it up. Okay, I made this video earlier, so don't get all like pissed off like this isn't live. Yeah, it's not live. I'm going to press a button on. Well, somebody's going to press a button. It's going to tell you what the thing's about. It's not a sales pitch. I literally just go on week 1, you're going to learn. On week 2, you're going to learn. On week 3, that's pretty much it, and you can decide if you want to do it or not. But what I wanted to ask you, Steve, is after this little video, are you willing to do, and dude, I'm totally throwing you on the spot, but I would do this if I didn't know that you were such a brilliant musician. Are you willing to do requests? Like I see there's so many people on here, well, what about, you know, this band or that band? And this song and that song.
I'll do requests. I go on the radio all the time here locally and do requests. I mean, if you dig far too deep back, I'll see what I could do, but I'll try my best to please you.
Okay, cool. So 2 reasons not to go anywhere, guys. 1, special bonus course just for being here. You don't have to buy anything, just for being here. We're going to give out the link at the end. Second awesome reason is Steve Stine doing requests. right after right after this video. Stand by. Uh-oh. Is this going to work? I hope so. Hey, tell me if this works, guys. Thunder Rock Riffs Masterclass. So because I respect you and your time, I'm not going to try to sell you on attending this masterclass. The fact is, you're watching this now and you've been here for quite a while, so thank you. And you're probably already convinced that yes, this will help you. So I'm just going to help you decide if it's right for you. I'm going to show you what the class is about, what it can do for you. Okay? Sound fair enough? All right, cool. So Thunder Rock Riffs is a 6-week interactive masterclass taught by Chief Guitarist and Residence Professor Steve Stine. Here's what it'll do for you. You'll be able to improvise your own riffs from scratch. You'll be able to develop your own unique style and signature sound. You'll play the great riffs in the style of your favorite guitarists, and you'll learn new songs faster and easier. Here's what you get. 6 weeks of interactive online video lessons from Steve, 100% focused on riffs. You're going to learn 26 hot riffs in all major guitar styles from 1960 to the present. You get personal one-on-one help from Steve. You get a VIP private email address so you can contact him. And you get private Facebook group, which is awesome. And you get to interact with Steve and, more importantly, the other members of the masterclass, okay? Which is a super cool group and is our most active Facebook group. You also get 2 one-hour live video sessions on Saturday mornings where you'll be able to speak directly with Steve so you can get your questions answered fast. You get recordings of each of these live sessions so you'll have them for life. You get lifetime access to all the videos inside the members-only website. You get the complete tab for each week's lessons so you can easily follow along and you'll never get lost. And you get 46 jam tracks, which is 2 versions of all 26 riffs, okay? One with the guitar so you can play along with Steve, and then one that's drum and bass only so you can just rock out by yourself. Week 1 is going to be an intro to open chord and rock riffs. You're going to learn 10 crucial chords in open position, open power chords, bar chord riffs, the chromatic scale from the 5th and 6th strings, chord fragments and double stops, palm muting techniques, single note picking down and up, or I should say down and up, slurs, hammer-ons, and pull-off slides, bending and vibrato techniques, string deadening tricks, combining power chords with standard open chords, and spicing up the flavor using added single notes, as well as keeping the strings controlled. Week 2 is a study of melodic open string and hard rock riffs. So you're going to learn how to play riffs horizontally across the fretboard, how to create melody, subtle palm muting techniques, practical power chord movements, advanced palm muting skills, adding the chromatic scale elements, picking tricks for tone and style. And then week 3 is going to jump right into single note, blues rock, and funk rock licks. So you're going to learn the 1-4-5 concept, which comes from blues, obviously, straight ahead Ramones style punk, the Beach Boys influence, slow blues riffs, playing riffs from scales, switching strings cleanly, finger options for moving across the strings, okay, because sometimes that gets tricky. And then you're going to have a webinar, okay? It's going to be a 1-hour live webinar with Steve. It's going to be curriculum based. In other words, he's going to teach you some additional things, but also you're going to get to do question and answer with him about the previous 3 weeks, okay? This will be on a Saturday, so if you're working 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, no worries. Saturday you'll be able to come and hang out, and it will be recorded in case for some reason you can't come to that class. All right, so week 4, movable riffs and creating riffs from chords. You're going to study the pinball concept, movement within chords. Song study, you're going to learn, basically Steve's going to take Wholehearted by Extreme, break it down for you, and explain how that whole song is put together using riffs. Moving open chord shapes across the fretboard. A song study of Spirit of the Radio by Rush, one of my favorites, by the way. The half bar chord movement, or it's how to take your bar chords and move them around the fretboard, as well as the big problem with G sharp and bar chords. And the lift bar technique, which is super cool. Now, there is a lot of stuff in this class, and so for the sake of time, I'm just going to speed it up from here, right? Week 5 is 1970s rock and chord fragment riffs. Week 6 is 1980s style riffs, and you're going to go deep into rock and roll layering, an advanced double stop technique, the live wire concept, the importance of bass counter, as well as the chordal setup, main riffs in A I guess I put A twice. A, G, and D, it should say. Chord fragment exercises, picking fragment exercises, as well as bending exercises. So it's a lot of stuff in the 1980s style riffs, because think about all the bands that came out of the 80s. So it's a big week is number 6. Then you're going to have another live Q&A webinar. Okay? So this will be the second of the live classes. It will be on Saturday, and it will be recorded. Cool? So here's what this will do for you. You'll be able to pick up your guitar and play a hard-hitting riff on demand in any style in the last half century and make it look effortless. You'll gain the confidence you need to stand up and play with other musicians. You'll discover how riffs are created and how they're used in songs. And you'll be able to see the fretboard in a whole new way. You'll be able to write your own songs using riffs that you create yourself from scratch. You'll have a new sense of freedom and confidence in your playing because you'll understand chord structures, riff melodies, and chordal fragments. You'll be a better overall musician because you'll recognize riff patterns in the songs that you want to learn, and you'll be able to play your favorite songs in probably half the time because riff patterns will jump off your fretboard at you instead of just being a jumbled mess of random notes and tricky rhythms. You'll also discover what riffs actually are, how they're created, and why they're the backbone of every single song. You'll learn the 6 essential tools that you must have to write your own riffs, how to create spine-tingling riffs from scratch using the open chords you already know. Plus, you'll discover the critical techniques that allowed the 1980s rockers to create Hall of Fame songs based on easy-to-play riffs. How punk guitarists borrowed the classic 145 blues and morphed it into head-banging fun, plus single-note hard rock riffs that put bands like AC/DC on the map. And you'll discover how to add bends to any riff to instantly give it an old-school blues effect. How the 1980s rockers swiped the double-stop riffs inspired by Chuck Berry, way on back, and created a whole new rock and roll sound that they played all the way to the bank. You'll discover the rock and roll layering concept of bands like Aerosmith and how they create that thick rhythmic sound. So, as a webinar attendee bonus, if you decide to invest in this masterclass, you're going to get Steve's Firestorm guitar. When we released this course, sold for $159 and still does right now on our website. You're going to get it free as a webinar attendee bonus. And if you already registered for the class, you're going to get this as well. Okay. So this is all about rhythm. It's basically it's probably about a 4-hour course on learning. It's basically a rhythm and strumming blueprint of learning songs and how to break them down and to learn them super fast. You get this free. Now, there's a fast action bonus, or actually there was a fast action bonus. It was called The Key to Your Guitar Playing Success. It's sold out. If you already invested in the course, you're still going to get this, of course. All right, fast action bonus number 2, Eddie Van Halen style tapping. Okay, a 1980s classic guitarist, Eddie Van Halen. This is a study of his tapping technique, a $47 value if you're one of the first 150 to register. Now, as a fast action bonus number 3, we're going to send you in the mail the Guitar Zoom guitar strap. It's a nylon strap. It's pretty cool. And it's a $27 value. This bonus expires Wednesday, September 23rd. So if you want this, you definitely want to register beforehand. You also get the 2 live coaching sessions that I mentioned. That's a $120 value. You get the Ultimate Rock Jam Track Guitar Pack, which is 10 of our best loved backing tracks so you can rock out. You get Creating a Killer Guitar Tone by Steve. This is an awesome course, and it touches on something that I rarely hear people talking about, is guitar tone and how to actually get the tone that you want out of the existing gear that you have. Not like, hey, if you want this specific tone, you need to go buy a $3,000 guitar and a $2,000, triple rectifier. No, this is a course on tone that Steve did, and you're going to get it as a bonus when you sign up for this masterclass. The bonus number 4 is David Gilmour style blues soloing. Okay. Bonus number 5 is, of course, the VIP secret email address, which I mentioned earlier. Bonus number 6 is the tab transcription for each week. And actually, I don't know who came up with $29 value. I think it's a lot higher than that because it's a very accurate tab. We spend tens of thousands of dollars a year paying transcriptionists, and they're very accurate. And hopefully, if you bought some of our stuff before, you know how our tabs are actually accurate. So
You get tab transcriptions for each week, so you can always refer back to it. And the tab is nice so that you can have, if you're not in front of your computer or your phone, you're not watching the video, you just want to remind yourself of something, you got the tab right there for you. Bonus number 7, of course, I mentioned the private Facebook group. This is an awesome group of people just communicating and just helping each other out. It's really cool. So the total value, the 6-week masterclass, which is about 8 hours of recorded video, as well as the 2 live sessions, which will be also recorded. That's a $600 value, because basically Steve charges about $60 an hour to study with him. So you do the math and you got yourself a $600 value. And the fast action bonuses are a $91 value. The regular bonuses are a $317 value. And the webinar bonus, the Firestorm Guitar Course, is $159 value, for a total value of $1,167. So your tuition for the class is not going to be $1,167, even though that's the real value. It's going to be only $397 if you register by September 30th. Okay, and if you register after September 23rd, it's going to be $297. So if you get in there between the 24th and the 30th, it's only $297. Now, if you register by September 23rd, in other words, Wednesday, September 23rd, if you get your registration in, you can register for the class for just 3 installments of $77 for a total of $231. And if you want to actually save some money, you can do a one and done of $197. You can do that credit card, debit card, or PayPal. And this is actually the option that most of the masterclass students will use. You're also covered by a 90-day 100% satisfaction guarantee, which means you love it or your money back. There's no questions asked and there's no receipt required. Here's what to do next. Click the button, complete the registration form to secure your spot. Remember, class begins September 30th. Now, 4 important reminders. The price goes up $100 midnight, September 23rd. So if you're sitting on the fence, make sure you get in before midnight, September 23rd. Okay? Really important. We always have people that register after the date, and which is great. It's fine. But if you want to save the money, go ahead and register before September 23rd. Remember, space is limited. There's only a certain number of students that Steve can handle and give them the attention that they deserve. So we will be limiting the number of people that can register. And your playing will not get better if you keep doing the same things over and over again. Okay, you're going to keep getting the same results. So this class may be the one thing that sets you on a new path of improvement and just enjoying playing more. Because the better you are, the more fun it is to play. Plus, you're covered by a 90-day 100% satisfaction guarantee. So you can sign up for the class, take it for 3 months, okay? You got 90 full days to check out everything, to go in and be a part of the group, to have access to Steve, to take the class, to come to the Q&A, and if for any reason you're not 100% satisfied, just let us know, okay? Sign up now. Now, a guy that I know that used to be a paramedic told me this once, and I think he told me that this is kind of some dark stuff here, but I want to let you in on his mindset. He said, dude, I have seen a lot of people die. Like, they've been shot, they got in a car accident, I've been called to the scene. Okay, great. So I was like, okay, and what's the point? He's like, and a lot of times people die with regret on their face. And I was like, wow, okay, that's pretty heavy. And he said this. He said, we tend to regret the things that we do in the short term, but we regret the things that we did not do in the long term a lot more, right? If you think about that, think about your past, and then probably, at least for me personally, I think about, man, I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have done that. I wish I would have taken, this risk or that risk, and taken that trip or that vacation or signed up for that class, and I didn't do it. And now I'm kind of living with the results. So think about that if you're kind of on the fence. We tend to regret the things we do in the short term, but the things we did not do in the long term. So this is a once in a lifetime opportunity for you to get personalized training from one of the world's leading guitar experts. Steve has literally helped people from over 100 different countries, and I'm talking about hundreds of thousands of guitarists from over 100 different countries massively improve their playing. So don't let this opportunity pass you by. Sign up now.
Professor Stine, are you there, sir?
I am here.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to stick the I'm going to stick the thing up there so you guys can actually see this, hopefully. Thunder Rock Riffs Masterclass. Yeah, I think we're good. Okay, guys, so basically there's about 6 hours left until midnight tonight when you can sign up for the class and get the special webinar bonus. By the way, you mentioned David Gilmour earlier, and that's actually one of the bonuses in here. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, one of the David Gilmour soloing things. I thought, was that not your course?
Yeah, that was mine.
Yeah, I thought so. So anyway, they get that as one of the bonuses.
Yeah.
And if you could just let me know if you can see where it says Thunder Rock Riffs Masterclass, there's a little image of the class, and then there's a Learn More button. If you click on that Learn More button, it'll take you over to the page, and you can register and get started. Okay, so I'm going to leave that up. Now, we covered, let's just recap what we did at the beginning, and then we want to take the requests. And I want to remind people about the special webinar bonus that they get for sticking to the end. We're going to give out that link. So tell us, we started out with the open chord riffs, right? So maybe you could just give us a quick little example of that.
Sure. Any kind of thing that uses those kind of open chords, open power chords, regular open chords.
And we talk about how that's very heavily AC/DC, and we mentioned some other bands, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And then the second one we talked about was power chord riffs, which was what?
Well, we looked at, so we're looking at different songs and how the style of music that it is can sometimes be characteristic of the way it actually looks on the fretboard. And so, learning how to make power chord riffs and using single notes along with that, things like that. So, yeah.
Very cool. The third one was what?
Chord fragments. So that's where we were looking like, or somebody had mentioned docking with the instead of using a power chord or an open chord, you're using like 2 strings and making unusual shapes with those, which actually sounds pretty stinking cool.
Very cool. And then the fourth one was what?
The fourth one was single notes. So taking and building like, it could be anything. I'm just going with songs that you probably know out there. So like, right? So stuff like that, anything that would use single notes. And of course, we tend to utilize a lot of these things together when we're writing riffs, and there's a lot of that stuff in there as well. So
very cool. Okay, so basically, Steve, we've talked about 4 of the 26 ways that you can write riffs. And also, there's an element to this of not only writing your own, but also being able to pick out riffs easier when you're wanting to learn songs by ear, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. And the other thing, of course, is prepping with just the tools that you're going to need, making sure you have your chords in set. Make sure that you've got your basic techniques of bending and vibrato, all those kind of things. Making sure that you've got all that stuff. Like, just to show you, somebody had asked about All the Young Dudes, and I haven't played this song in years, but it's a great song, and it goes something like this. So if you go, right, there's a bend, right? So learning how to do bending and vibrato, again, they're things that people overlook all the time, and they're absolutely essential to making something sound of quality. You know what I mean? So
super cool. Mm-hmm. So I was going to throw you on the spot here, dude, because we're already bumping up against an hour here, and we wanted to do some requests for folks. And I wanted to go ahead and answer some of these requests that I see over here. There's a whole bunch of people that have very specific questions about the class, and people that are previous masterclass people that are asking about their discount and that kind of thing. So I was going to handle some of those things. I was going to throw the comments over to you, and maybe you can just take some requests. So, sure, guys, absolutely. Now is the time to get your requests in. Go ahead and pop them into the chat box there. If you would like to hear Steve play a particular riff, he's going to do his best. This is just musicianship on display right here. But I think it would be cool, Steve, if you, once you take a request, to actually then say, this would fit into this part of Thunder.
Well, I'll try, because they're coming in fast. So if I went... right? That would be a single note chord fragment and power chord. It would fit into all of those. Would be power chords. Bark at the Moon would be power chords and chord fragments. Oh, I don't remember She Sells Sanctuary, but I could do like... Or... which is The Cult. I'm not sure what you mean by Strutter. Oh, Madhouse. Oh, my goodness. How did that go again? LaGrange.
Pow, pow, pow.
Yeah, which is kind of like when it gets into the into that part of it, and then it goes into the So Hot for Teacher again. We're right back to that again. Kickstart My Heart. Let's see. So Kickstart My Heart. Oh man. Oh, Her Strut. I don't know that one. Diary of a Madman. Oh crap. Oh, bummer. I don't remember it. I'll have to come back to that. We'll have to have another webinar just so I can play Diary of a Madman. Let's see here. Living After Midnight. Comfortably Numb. Let's see. Let me get this one first. So that's a Free Ride. Let's see. I'm losing track here. Freebird. Well, yeah, Freebird we could do, I suppose. Crazy Train. That's Fast Speed. Let's see. Cowboy Song. I don't remember Cowboy Song. I remember. Oh. Oh man, you're getting me. Strutter. Don't Fear the Reaper. Oh, 38 Special. What about Whiskey in a Jar? I used to do that with a band I was in. Kick Out the Jams I used to do. I haven't played those in a long time. Rainbow in the Dark. Is that the right one? Or am I playing I'm playing Holy Diver, aren't I? Rainbow in the Dark is. Black Star. Black Star. I don't remember Black Star, but I remember some of Trilogy by Malmsteen. It goes.
Okay, now you're just showing off.
2
Which
minutes
is what you
There's
should
a
do.
chord fragment song. There it is. Yeah, I used to know tons of Iron Maiden. I grew up.
How about Dyer's Eve?
I don't remember Dyer's Eve.
What?
I know. I don't remember it. White Rabbit.
That's almost so hard.
Man in the Box. Layla. Yeah, that Layla I remember. Fat Bottom Girl. Oh, how about this one? Seven Nation Army.
So when you do these, are you instantly able to categorize them in your mind of like, oh, that fits into this category, that fits into that category, or when you're just playing?
No, well, no. I mean, again, they're all patterns. So the songs that are harder are songs like Malmsteen or Joe Satriani or something where there's a lot of different parts. You got to kind of stay up on those. You got to practice them on a regular basis. Right. But everything else, you just kind of categorize into the movements that they make. You know, sometimes it doesn't really even matter where you start, whether it's in E or it's in D. It's the shape that it's making that makes the difference.
Very cool.
You know, so like... there's Hair of the Dog. Somebody asked for that, which is like... Day Tripper by the Beatles. They're very... And again... From learning 85 million songs, you begin to see how all these artists have learned or copied from other artists and created things out of those things. You know, if I take somebody mentioned Kashmir. And you take that and put it against... You only had one dream. One life, one slice of pizza. What would you do? What would you do? So let's see here. Paradise City.
Hang on, dude. I'm trying to answer some questions here as you're playing here. Greg R, who's signed up for the theory masterclass, asked a very dadgummit. There's so many comments coming in. It keeps jumping down when I'm trying to read it. He says, Dana Steve, I've been a little slow to learn and overwhelmed with the theory class. Gee, I don't know why. It's only 12 weeks long, like 30 hours worth of stuff. Do you think this course would be a good balancer? It seems kind of like it would be more hands-on and quicker, noticeable improvement, including songwriting skills. What do you say? What's your take on that?
Absolutely. I mean, you know, the thing about the theory course was that the goal with the theory course was to give you as much theory as you could get in 12 weeks, understanding that you're not going to learn it all in 12 weeks. We can't give you one piece every 6 months because it wouldn't do you any good. The beauty is after the 12 weeks, it's yours. You keep studying any segment of it that you find useful to wherever you are in your guitar journey. This kind of thing is completely different because it's not based off scales and it's not based off theory.
Right.
It's based off shapes and sounds and rhythmic feelings and things like that, which again, I always, and even for music theory, you know, students, I always try and get people to understand that there's two worlds for me to music. And one world certainly is logic. I don't run around spending all my time thinking about logic all the time. Sometimes I do and sometimes I have to. But there are other times that I'm just looking at my fretboard and I'm trying to create things because I think it sounds cool. And that's the kind of stuff that I grew up on, you know. Right. You know, when you think of stuff like, I got the worst tone for this, but if I had you know, where does something like that come from? I mean, they're not, and I'm not going to get into an argument of who wrote it, but the fact of the matter is it's a sound thing. It's an exploration of your fretboard, and that's something that you really got to, you know, you got to think about. And that's the fun of it is sitting around with your fretboard or with your guitar trying to make things up. Like somebody mentioned a long time ago in this chat that they're scared that their riffs were going to suck. That's the problem is everybody is trying to compare themselves to all of these other people, and what all of these other people have figured out is that it doesn't take all of that to be good at writing a riff. It's just understanding the methodology, if you will, of what you're actually trying to create. You can take a song and go, and if you put the right stuff behind it, you'd have a killer tune. If you like that kind of thing. You know, I mean, everybody's different, so.
Hey, here's another question from Robert C. He says, what level is best to be taken advantage of in this course? I'm assuming he means like a level of skill.
Well, I wouldn't be an absolute beginner. You know, I don't have any. Well, I shouldn't say I don't have any, but there's not a lot of stuff that's meant to be fast in the course. It's more about the way you're seeing the guitar and putting the things together. So I would think early intermediate would be, and then on would be fine. I mean, even a beginner could, but if you're still having a hard time like putting your chords together and things like that, it might be a little bit difficult because it's all about connecting. I mean, that's what you're doing. You're connecting chords and you're connecting shapes and scale parts. Again, there's no denying that there's scales involved with writing riffs, you know what I mean? But it's not like you have to know what a Dorian scale is to write. But you do have to have a sense of groove. You know, you've got to be able to create, and we talk about all that kind of stuff. That's the whole point, is teaching you about groove and how to attack your chords and learning how to play quiet versus loud. You know, you're playing something. And then it kicks in. You know, it's a feeling thing that you got to get used to. For me, theory isn't a feeling thing. Theory is an understanding thing that I can apply to something to make me see other roadmaps. Now I can take those roadmaps and I can feel my way around again. So that's kind of how I approach guitar playing. Absolutely.
So, guys, I know we're actually over an hour here. I keep seeing requests coming in. I've actually asked a couple of my teammates to help me out here. We still have 386 people on. I want to go ahead and let you guys know a couple things. One, you know, the class is starting September 30th. Okay, there is going to be a discount if you decide to register before tomorrow night, which is September 23rd, midnight. Tomorrow night, the price is going to jump $100, and we always have people that register after that, which is fine. But I'm just letting you know that if you want the discount, you're going to get a $100 discount if you register before tomorrow night. Also, there's a special webinar-only bonus. Now, when I say webinar-only bonus, if you've already signed up for this class, you're going to get this bonus. Don't worry about it, okay? But it will not be extended through tomorrow. That bonus is, let me look at what that bonus actually is. So if you decide to invest in this course, you're going to get, oh yeah, Firestorm. You're going to get Steve's entire Firestorm guitar course.
Oh, that's right, and that's perfect for working on groove. That's exactly what that's about, is learning about rhythms and all that kind of stuff.
Rhythm and Strumming Blueprint. It's like a perfect complement to this course.
Absolutely.
You're going to get it free. That's a $159 value. Also, you're going to get the Fast Action bonuses, guys. Actually, one of them is already sold out. Let's see. Fast Action bonus number 2, the Eddie Van Halen style tapping. Just tell us a little bit, just maybe show us a little bit what that bonus is about, Steve.
Well, what we do is we're taking ideas of creating, again, patterns. They originate from places like pentatonic. And what you do is you start learning how to do different kinds of movements with those. And then we start adding more stuff in. Or we start moving things around. So you start learning how to create tapping ideas that you can actually use in your playing.
Super cool, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
So, oh yeah, I forgot about this, dude. They also get a guitar strap. One of the GuitarZoom guitar straps. That's also a Fast Action bonus. That expires tomorrow night as well, which is Wednesday. The oh yeah, and the Eddie Van Halen's tapping thing is for the first 150, and I'm not even sure how many people have already registered for this thing. But anyway, that's going to expire soon. So if you want those Fast Action bonuses, there are 2 left. Actually, so if you register tonight, you get the webinar only bonus, which is the Firestorm guitar course. Okay. Yep.
So just let me say this quick. So
yeah,
Joe, if he did make a mistake and he did say that Thunder Rock Riffs, you gave the Thunder Rock riffs as the webinar bonus. Obviously, if he did say that, he didn't mean it. The bonus is the Firestorm. So
yeah, you get the Firestorm when you sign up for the class. There's another bonus. Don't worry, I'm getting to that in just a second.
Yep.
So for the webinar, when you sign up for the class, there's a special bonus for the people that attended this webinar and sign up tonight. That's the Firestorm guitar course. Okay, that's $159 value. There's a fast action bonus, which is the Eddie Van Halen tapping, okay, course, and also the guitar strap, which is pretty cool. And of course, you get 2 live coaching sessions. Okay, those sessions are going to be recorded. So no worries if you can't get there. They're going to be on a Saturday, so hopefully you will be able to do it. Saturday morning, Steve's going to take some time out and hang out with you dudes and gals and do some coaching and some live teaching. Those will be recorded, so you'll have those in the members area. And you also get the Ultimate Rock Jam track guitar pack, which is basically 10 of our most popular jam tracks. You get the, creating a killer guitar tone course.
Oh,
so what's
awesome.
that about, Steve?
Well, I get people that ask me all the time about guitar tone and trying to sort of optimize their guitar tone without having to go out and spend, a bunch of money. And so that's really what that's about, is understanding, like for me, when I play on stage, I really have 4 optimal situations. One is clean, one is crunch, one is fairly overdriven, and one is a lead channel. And so I break down kind of the best way of trying to achieve a decent clean tone by the amp settings that you're using, the way you set up your toggle switch with your pickups, your volume, things like that, how to adjust those things, and then I do it for each one of those 4 ideas. When I go out and play, I don't have 1,700 different pedal patches that I use. I just try and set up a basic kind of rock and roll tone and then move between those as much as I need to. So.
Yeah, and I think the key to that course is that you're showing them how to do that with their gear setup.
Yeah, it's just a general idea with any kind of gear. Absolutely.
Yeah, very cool. So that's also one of the bonuses that you get when you register for the class. Also, there's the David Gilmour style blues soloing. You get that as well. So what's that about, Steve?
The which one? I'm sorry.
David Gilmour style blues soloing.
David Gilmour style, what we do is we look at some of the chord progressional styles that David Gilmour would use. Again, he's an incredibly talented guy that does a million different things, but we're going to take one side of him, and we're going to look at a lot of the trademark licks and scale ideas that he uses in his playing. So that's
very cool.
Mm-hmm.
They also get access to the super secret VIP email address that goes straight to the Steve Stine bat phone. There is somewhat of a parameter about that, guys, is that Steve's a pretty busy dude. So what we ask is that you go through the class material and don't ask questions that are covered in the class. Okay, I guess that's obvious. It's kind of like over and above, or if you get stuck, it's cool. You can email him. Just don't blow him up. That's the only thing that we're asking.
That would help. Yeah, if you've got a serious question and you're just not finding the answer to what it is, that's why we do these live classes too, so you and I can talk about those things. Yep. But it's nice to use that live class time to talk about things that haven't already been discussed in the course. Otherwise, we're just sort of reiterating the same thing. So
they also get a tab transcription of each week. So it's how many weeks is it? 6 weeks, right?
6 weeks, yep.
6 weeks course plus 2 live classes. So it's 3 weeks live class, then 3 weeks live class. But it's a 6 weeks total. So there's on week 3 there's going to be the class material and then also the live class. And then week 4, 5, and 6, and then on week 6 you also get another live class. And so there's tab transcription for all of that, guys. Tab is notoriously wrong. And when I actually founded GuitarZoom back in the day, actually even before that, Amazing Guitar Secrets, I decided to make the guitar tab something that I was really going to commit to. And I don't know how many of you have tried to tab out things, but it's pretty dang hard to do it accurately, right? And so I had to find some really super talented dudes, and we hired them to help us out with the tab transcriptions. And hopefully you guys know that our tab transcriptions are pretty good. And we have people cranking them out all the time. And in fact, I just got a report that we have actually paid out over $50,000 to our tab transcriptionist over the past few months just cranking out tabs. So this isn't like some kid in his bedroom who's trying to earn some money after school. These are professional, a lot of times they're degreed musicians who are taking time to try to get accurate tab as humanly possible for you. So we take it very seriously.
You bet.
The other thing is and this cannot be overlooked, man, the private Facebook group for the masterclass students only. This is one of the best, I think this is one of the biggest benefits for being a masterclass student, Steve. You're more involved in the day-to-day. Tell them a little bit about that.
Well, the masterclass, the key to the masterclass is trying to keep, give everybody a positive and encouraging environment to be able to go and talk about things that are going on with your guitar playing, with the masterclasses that are happening. We have a GuitarZoom community page as well, but that one really deals more with just generalized things, where the masterclass group is more specific to the things that what are going on with you. So if you're taking the Thunder Rock riffs and you have a specific question about week 1 or week 2 or week 3 or whatever, you have a whole host of people that are in there that know exactly what you're talking about, that you can strike up conversation and friendships and musical or teammates or whatever it is you got going on. It's a really cool thing. So
it is super cool, man. And the loneliest number is 1.
That's right.
So the loneliest number is hacking away on your guitar, when there's like a whole group, just in your room alone, and you're like stuck or whatever. You can jump in this masterclass, and these people are really passionate about guitar, man. And you can ask questions and get answers from people just like that, and it's really cool. And if you're not on Facebook, it's no big deal to create an account and jump on there. We've had a few people say, well, I don't really do the Facebook thing. It's not that big of a deal. If you can send an email, you can jump on Facebook and respond and help out. So that's a cool community. Of course, everything that we do is covered by our 90-day 100% satisfaction guarantee. So basically, for 3 months, you can take the entire course, and if you decide it's not for you, no worries. Just let us know you want to drop out, and our awesome support staff, Katrina. By the way, if anybody actually has had any customer service experiences with our customer service staff, good or bad, let us know in the chat. I'm just curious. I always like asking this question. Also, if you are if you're in one of the master classes and you're in that Facebook group, tell us what you think about that in the chat. I would love to hear. I would really appreciate that. Okay, so here's the deal, guys. I'm going to wrap it up with this. The registration, the class starts on September 30th. You don't want to wait until September 30th to register, because the price is $397, which even at that price, I think is a bargain. Berkeley Music's charging $1,200 for their master classes now. Probably well worth it, actually, but ours is $397. The late registration, which is after tomorrow night, is going to be $297. So you want to, if you're on the fence with this thing, guys, you want to watch the sales video that Steve made that tells you about the class. If you want to read all of the information that's about the class there on the page, you can just click on the Register Now link and go check it out. But you definitely want to get in before tomorrow night, because the price is a significant discount. And also, guys, if you're a masterclass student, you get a discount, okay? We're not giving out that link here on this webinar, obviously. So you'll need to check your email for a special email. It's going to be sent out to the masterclass students only. That'll take you to a special page where you will get your discount automatically. If you already ordered, don't worry. Just send an email to our customer service, and they'll send you the difference. Okay? That's how we're going to handle that.
Dan, can I say 2 things quick?
Sure, brother.
Somebody had said earlier, could you make a course that was for advanced players only? And the truth is, I honestly don't even really kind of believe in that, because I don't really know what an advanced player is. It isn't about speed or how much you understand. I mean, for me, it isn't about trying to appeal to just a certain group of people that, I don't even know if I call myself an advanced player. We're all just trying to learn. So the trick is, with the courses that I create, it's not whether it's for a beginner or an intermediate or advanced, although beginner is a little bit different. It's about trying to create something that gets you thinking about things. So whether you're an intermediate blues player or an advanced rock player or whatever, funk player, there's stuff in there for anybody to look at and go, oh, I never thought about it like that before. That's really, for me, what GuitarZoom is all about. It's not about trying to niche an advanced player. And don't get me wrong, I mean, like for me, when I think of advanced players, I think of either somebody that knows a ton of theory, or somebody that's really, really good with their chops. That's kind of what I think of. And we have stuff for, we have a chops builder course that's exactly for that. So if that kind of answers your question, this is just as much for an advanced player as it is for an intermediate player. It's just learning and changing the way you think of things. And the second thing I want to say, somebody had mentioned Facebook, that they don't really like Facebook because you get addicted to being on there a lot and blah, blah, blah. You're talking to two guys right here that are not big Facebook aficionados. Dan and I, we go on there. I go on there to talk to you. I go on there to, post a picture of my kid because I got an A on their test or something like that. Yep. I don't spend a lot of time on Facebook. That's why the community is so awesome, because there's people in there. When you post a question, people respond. So you don't have to be on there for 5 hours waiting for a response. You can post something. And I try and go on there as often as I can to make sure if there's any questions that haven't been, answered or need some help, I go on there too, and I try and help you as much as I possibly can. So
very cool. Mm-hmm. Okay, guys, so we're going to wrap it up now. I will go ahead and tell you that for the folks that are hanging on to get the bonus just for being with us the entire time, if you click on I don't really see what you guys see, I don't think. Oh, if you click on the Learn More button, you can basically click on the Learn More button, and it'll take you over to the page. Okay. Then what you want to do is you want to scroll all the way down to the very, very bottom, and there's a little link on the bottom right-hand corner that says Webinar Attendee Bonus. If you click on that, it's going to take you over to a special page. You just pop your email address in, and you click on the big button that says Give Me My Bonus. Okay. And it's the Ultimate Guide to Vibrato is what it is, by the way, guys. So you get the Ultimate Guide to Vibrato, which is a pretty cool course. Stevie did that course, yeah?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, and I see it says by Steve Stine. So that is the webinar bonus for you guys hanging out with us. That is 100% free, as in free beer. So you'll want to check that out. Again, just click on the Learn More button, go over, scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page, and look for the link that says Webinar Attendee Bonus. Okay? So just to wrap it up, guys, I want to say thank you for being here. I want to say thank you.
A couple people there saying they don't see the Learn More button.
Oh, I hate when that happens. Let's see here. You guys don't see the thing on the right-hand side of the screen, right underneath the where it says Thunder Rock Riffs Masterclass, and then there's a yellow and white button, or orange and white, that says Learn More. Do you see that, Steve?
Where is it under? I'm sorry.
It should just be the pop-up thing.
Oh, yeah, I see it, and it does have a Learn More on mine.
Yeah, if you tap on that, or if you're on an iPad, or if you click it, or whatever you do, it should take you over to the page. Should be just fine. But remember, guys, two big things to remember about this. If you're thinking about signing up for this class, there's two very good reasons to do it tonight. One, the discount ends tomorrow and the price jumps $100. Two, you get the special bonus, which is the entire Firestorm course. You get Steve's entire Firestorm course, which is a really awesome course. It sells every single day on the GuitarZoom website for, I don't even know how much, 100 something bucks, I think. It's a great course, though, and it ties in perfectly to the Thunder Rock Riffs Masterclass.
And everybody's saying if you scroll all the way down, it is there. You just have to scroll all the way down.
Oh, cool.
So
cool.
Just make sure you scroll all the way down.
Very cool. Yeah. Randy says, I've got it. Dave says, tell them to scroll down. Okay, guys. Thank you for your help. Thank you for being here, and thank you for hanging out with two chuckleheads who just like to talk about guitar. And
honestly, I totally agree. Thank you for being here, and hopefully, even from this webinar, you got some ideas of things to think about a little bit, whether it's a riff idea or the way to think about music a little bit more, just to keep your creativity flowing. And the bottom line is you got to be having fun while you're playing, or you're not going to want to pick it up. You don't want it to become evil for you. So you got to keep making some music on this thing.
It's absolutely true. Hey, I do want to say a couple of just a shout out. One, to me, Steve, I don't know about for you, man, but you and I have shared some war stories before. But the fact that there were 400 and let's see, I looked at the thing earlier. There were at the most, I think there were 458 people on this call who took time out of their day to come on here and hang out with us. It's totally humbling to me, the fact that anybody would actually come and hang out on a webinar with me for any reason, or I mean, with you. I mean, why would they ever want to do that? It's just
Yeah.
To me, it's amazing.
Yep, we are blessed to be able to do what we're doing right now, and it's fun to be able to hang out with you guys and talk about guitar, you know?
Yeah, we love it. So we hope to see you guys. Guys, I see that there's some more requests. Hopefully my helpers will hang around and help me out with this. My teammates will help me out with this and get those requests answered for you. If you have any additional questions, please go ahead and send those through the request link there. Or you can always email our support department at support@guitarzoom.com. That's support@guitarzoom.com. We are taking PayPal. They wanted me to mention that. We didn't take PayPal for several years. I don't even know why we didn't. Probably because I made some boneheaded decision about why we shouldn't take it. But we take PayPal now, which seems everybody loves PayPal for some reason. I don't use it, so I was like, well, what's PayPal? I don't even know what it is. But anyway, that was stupid. But anyway, you take PayPal now, so if you want to use that, you can. Special bonus for the webinar people ends tonight, and the discount ends tomorrow. So if you want to go sign up for Steve's Thunder Rock Riffs Masterclass.
Oh!
Do it now, because the class starts September 30th, and the price jumps tomorrow night, and you don't want to miss out on the special bonuses. Cool?
Awesome.
All right, Professor Stine, as usual, it has been a pleasure, sir.
Absolutely. It's been wonderful seeing you, Dan, and thank you again, like you said, to everybody out there. Thank you so much. Thank you for spending your time with us. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, guys. We'll talk to you soon, all right? See you in the next class.
Bye.
Bye.